Hello, my name is Lillian Gregory, and I am going to do my visual presentation of the virtual field experience on the mentoring demonstration. Okay. The school mentors play a critical role of supporting student teachers to link theory and practice. That came from one of our learning resources by McCallum. Teacher mentors, teacher leaders, teacher coaches offer a safety net of sorts to novice and experienced teachers alike for connecting hot topic items like differentiation, technology, classroom management, culturally responsive teaching, project based learning, Common Core, and more. Teacher coaches show and help classroom teachers relate best practices and current educational trends and help them to digest and actively use these strategies within the classroom space. Teacher coaches provide a safe space for educators to continue learning and improving without punitive consequences. Teacher coaches help teachers get better faster, and this is evident in this virtual field experience with Sue, the mentor, and her mentee. The mentor the mentors supported the new teacher's development in three ways: through Common Core alignment of the lesson, best practices, and the National Board Professional Teacher Standards. The mentor asked the mentee about which Common Core standard the lesson was connected to. The mentee then read it out loud. When the mentee answered this question in detail, it demonstrated the teacher's understanding of the content they teach. During the pre-conference, the mentor also asked about classroom management, differentiation, and assessing student prior knowledge, which are all best practices and major considerations when creating student-centered lesson plans. Lastly, the mentor prompted questions and discussions that lent themselves to the National Board of Professional Teacher Standards. For example, when Sue, the mentor, inquired about assessing prior knowledge and anticipating student answers, that was easily connected to Standard 3 of the NBPTS, which is teacher deals with understanding, teacher's understanding of learning, of student learning. Additionally, Sue connected standard number 2, which is teacher understanding of the content they teach. There were many moments of growth in teacher development between the pre-conference, the actual observation, and the post-conference. It was evident that the mentor and teacher were responsive to one another through the positive exchange of feedback. The teacher showed that she was open to improving her practice and that this was the process that they were comfortable with. The mentor mentioned that she is familiar with the teacher's teaching style and knows that the teacher is very self-aware, and this is a process of self-discovery between their interactions. One interesting transformation I observed was the shift of trust from the mentor to the mentee. Sue asked at one point for the mentee to list or share the areas that she wanted observed through the walkthrough. This displays a shift of trust as Sue gave her mentee the responsibility to reflect and internalize where she wanted to most improve. According to our textbook, Mentoring, Coaching, Collaboration, the author states that a shift in leadership responsibility occurs when the process of the protege development. The graph that the book is referring to illustrates that early in the mentoring process, most of the responsibility for the task success is on the mentor, but then the shift occurs. In the mentoring process, and then the responsibility is shared before. I'm gonna go back. According to our textbook, Mentoring, Coaching, and Collaboration, the author states that a shift in leadership responsibilities occur when the I'm sorry. Let me go back. So the graph I'm referring to in the textbook illustrates that early in the mentoring process, most of the responsibility is on the mentor for the task success. And then there's a shift, which the responsibility is shared. And then towards the end of the graph, most of the responsibility, the majority of the responsibility is on the mentee for the success of the task. When Sue shares this responsibility with her mentee, she empowers her teacher and creates a metacognitive component to the pre-conference where the teacher is made to think about where she needs help, and she's more a part of internalizing the growing process. Some effective ways the mentor worked with the new teacher are through prompting, framing, observing, and reflecting. I will speak specifically to the dialogue and framing that the mentor used with the mentee. It is imperative that the partnership includes two equal sharing perspectives and making decisions that are best for the students. Sue constantly guided the pre-conference with open-ended questions that gave her mentee think time and time to create authentic responses. The interaction spoke to the rapport they have established with one another and the shared goal of student success that they share. The interaction also showed Sue as a challenger, which, according to the Teaching Leadership, Mentoring, Coaching, and Collaboration with Colleagues Perspectives on Mentoring Laureate Education video, it stated that a mentor as a challenger works with the teacher to step out of their comfort zones and consider new modes of thinking. This was evident through the professional development and how the mentor continually pushed her mentee to consider students' possible answers and to consider perhaps igniting prior knowledge with the KWL chart, which again is a best practice. This mentoring process will impact student learning through the teacher's consideration of possible student answers. Sue was able to look at the lesson plan and see that there were some areas where her mentee might need to consider the answers students might say while progressing through the lesson. Sue asked, what are some possibilities the kids will wonder about? When a teacher considers the possible answers, students may say they are able to plan on how to respond and how to predict teachable moments that may occur. My teacher coach often asked me to anticipate student answers, so I recognized this conversation and the coaching that occurred. Students are directly impacted by a teacher's planning and anticipation for certain moments. Considering these factors will allow the teacher to be stronger in the lesson and to organically handle where the academic conversation could go. One improvement that I have for Sue is maybe making the pre-conference less intense and rigid. I know when my coach makes our pre-conferences rigid, I tend to get more anxiety and stressed out. So I would make it a more informal exchange of like, I'm looking at your lesson plan. How can I best help? It was really obvious that this pair had worked together previously, but at one point the mentee picked up her pencil and it looked like anxiety, like I recognize that emotion. When I become a teacher coach, I hope to develop a comfort level between teachers and myself. I want the interactions to be sincere and less scripted. Also, I'm aware that it was a video critique for the mentor, but maybe a timed agenda to pace the pre-conference because we want teachers to pace their classes. So I feel like a good use of the teacher's time and respecting the teacher's time will come from a time-paced agenda. Thank you.